So your first steps towards building a service knowledge management system is starting with the basics. Do you know within your organization or within your customers what knowledge is necessary and who will use that knowledge and how? What conditions you need to monitor? We have a lot of ability to monitor our infrastructure, but we may not be monitoring the most important aspects of it, the aspects that are meaningful to our business or our customer. Do you know what data is available and where it's being stored and what tools are being used? And what the cost is of capturing and maintaining that data, particularly if it's data that's not particularly meaningful. What policies, legislation, standards, or requirements apply and that your organization is required to comply to, and if there are any intellectual property or copyright issues, particularly when you're dealing with knowledge that comes from your suppliers. For knowledge to be valuable, it must be meaningful and it must be manageable. Those two elements of the equation are critical because meaningful information that's not manageable will equal inaccurate, not current information, and then the credibility of it will be questionable. So this particular slide, I think, is a great way to demonstrate why service transition is the knowledge gateway. So when ITIL v3 was first written, I fully expected, coming from an operations background, that knowledge management would be documented in service operation because that's where we collect incident records, problem records, known error records. But ITIL version 3 put knowledge management in service transition, right in the middle of the service lifecycle. So it used service transition as the gateway for knowledge coming out of service design, so knowledge coming prior to the deployment of a service into production, and as a gateway going forward into service operation. And so by using service transition as sort of the starting point for knowledge about a new or changed service, service operation, first of all, got a running start, something to build on, and also had the benefit of all the knowledge that came prior to that service being moved into production. So knowledge management activities do follow a life cycle of their own. First of all, it starts with a knowledge management strategy and understanding the roles and responsibilities of individuals in participating and contributing to the knowledge management process. It's at this point we're also determining what methods we're going to use to collect the knowledge, what policies we have about what knowledge we will collect, how it's collected, privacy issues, when it's collected, how we're going to ensure its accuracy, what the actual procedures, tools, and metrics will be for managing that knowledge. Then we go through a point where we're going to start to use the SKMS, share it among IT partners, users, and customers, and also manage the data and information. So we define our architecture and our procedures before we get to the knowledge transfer stage of making it available to other functions and lifecycle stages. So there is a logic that goes with knowledge management activities. Some of these activities will be sequential and some of them will be concurrent, but they all have to start with the knowledge management strategy.